morning from the French overseas collectivity of Saint-Pierre et Miquelon. This is the small town, but the center of society here, Saint-Pierre. This is a small island just off the coast of Newfoundland. Well, it's an hour and a half ferry, and we're just sailing out of port. I'm sad to be leaving after only 2 days, although had I stayed one more, I probably would have put on an extra 5 kilos of weight. Food is fantastic. So as you can see, it's not a busy day on the ferry, but this is of course late October now, and the quiet time people have been living here since the very first French fishing people arrived over. But really when these islands become extremely important economically, it's during the period of Prohibition in the United States and then in Canada. This was a major port of smuggling, and this is of course liquor remained perfectly legal in France. But of course the story goes back much further. I visited an excellent small museum yesterday, and the gentleman said the first nuns came over 1826, I believe. 2 came over, and then 1827 another one came over and started educating young girls. Extremely conservative islands historically. So the population today is somewhere around 6,000 or 6,600. It's interesting that most people live here, overwhelmingly live here on this of the smaller of the islands, and then Miquelon, which is actually a long, sandy kind of double island, is another hour and a half ferry ride. This will be an hour and a half over to Fortune in Newfoundland. Obviously it's a foggy morning, but this is really the only time I could do a video. I've been here with work, believe it or not, for a couple of days. But I'm sailing away now. The sun did come out yesterday. It was spectacular. But some really interesting architecture. The accent when they speak is a French accent from France rather than a Canadian French accent. Lovely, friendly, welcoming people. I mean, just from literally everyone saying hello. And surprisingly large homes as well. You can see a few. You might have to be on a larger screen, but see some of the lovely houses up on the rocky hills there. Now, obviously, fishing community economically, aside from that Prohibition period, it is hard to fathom just how isolated life would have been here once upon a time. But to give a sense of the isolation, let's go around here. This is actually a living museum area. This is a living museum over here. So people do have, I understand, instead of holiday homes, but they do walking tours out here. And you have a look. Oh, there's some people out fishing the bay. I've been with a whole group of people from Newfoundland, so I've been learning a lot about the dories, and there was actually a St. Pierre dory, a specific one for fishing from these parts. This is the North Atlantic. It always surprises me how far south I actually am compared to, say, the west of Canada. However, because of the currents, Newfoundland sees icebergs, and from here, if we were to go straight south, so I'd be looking a little bit south now. We're going to go straight south. That is how far out in the North Atlantic we really are. So we're off the Burin Peninsula of Newfoundland, and we're heading over to the town of Fortune, which is a very small community, extremely attractive as well. But what a treat to come to a place like this. It's not that easy to get here. If you ever want to travel consultation, reach out to me, number 2 me.travel. I'm more than happy to connect. But basically there's the ferry over here, and if you come in high season, make sure you have accommodation because there's only so many rooms. No fast food, lovely bake